So with the Battle of Installation 04 upon us, today we're going to discuss why this battle is so significant. After all, it's a relatively small engagement in between a few number of ships and a handful of ground units, so let's take a look at why it matters so much. I'm Colin, and this is Sci-Fi Deep Dive. Remember, if you enjoyed this video, to head down below and hit that subscribe button. So the Battle of Installation 04 saw UNSC forces facing off against Covenant forces on the ancient Forerunner structure that is Installation 04, the Halo Ring. And, well, it has a lot of importance to us outside of universe because it's the battle we see in Halo Combat Evolved, the original Halo game. It is also a very significant point within the canon timeline. Now, it's less important for the Covenant than it is for the UNSC, so we'll start with the Covenant viewpoint. The discovery of the Halo Ring is really what's significant, a massive Forerunner artifact that they believe was the gateway to the Great Journey. This was the religious pilgrimage they were hoping to initiate by activating the rings, which would, in reality, wipe out all life in the galaxy. It was a major religious moment, and the discovery of the rings and the political aftermath that came from not just the presence of the rings, but the destruction of one of the rings would sort of shake Covenant leadership and ultimately lead to the Great Schism that weakens the Covenant enough for them to ultimately lose the war. But the big change here is on humanity's side. Up until this point, humanity didn't have a really good idea on what the inner workings of the Covenant looked like. They had no idea about Covenant religious ideas or their sort of efforts to collect Forerunner artifacts, all of which would be revealed with the discovery of the Halo Array. It would sort of open the door to understanding the Covenant, and that would be a key part in beating the Covenant in the coming months. The Battle of Installation 04 basically showed humanity the Covenant's Achilles heel, their obsession with Forerunner artifacts, and their strict religious hierarchy that put a few beings on top, which made their entire political system more vulnerable. However, the aftermath of the battle was really devastating for the Covenant, because at the end of that battle, the Halo Ring, Installation 04, is destroyed, sort of shattering their belief in the invincibility of their gods. This calls into question the legitimacy of their leadership and would ultimately lead to the Great Schism when the elites parted ways with the Covenant to start their own faction, a faction that would ultimately side with humanity for the remainder of the war, and really would be the only reason humanity survived the conflict at the end of the day, because we didn't stand a chance against the aliens if they were all working together. Furthermore, the Battle of Installation 04 had some pretty big propaganda ramifications for the UNSC. It solidified the Master Chief as sort of a character to put on a pedestal, as a savior of humanity, a potential hero that humanity could rely on in its darkest hour, which is really what humanity needed. After all, they just lost reach, and Earth seemed to be next. So the situation was looking rather grim, and a sort of hero to look up to, and someone to inspire the human populace and the human military to keep on fighting, was something the UNSC desperately needed. All of that was given to the UNSC during the Battle of Installation 04, when the Halo Ring was destroyed, the inner workings of the Covenant were revealed, and the Master Chief was established as a hero that humanity could rally behind. From this point on, from the Battle of Installation 04, the series of events that leads to the end of the war happened relatively rapidly. After all, we are 25 years into this long conflict, and it's going to be over in the next 6 months. And it's not going to end the way it looks like it's going to end. You could believe that humanity was going to be extinct in 6 months, but it's going to end in a human victory. And a lot of the pathways that lead to that conclusion come from this battle, the Battle of Installation 04, which is why it's such a significant engagement. Once again, it's not a big battle. It involves just the Pillar of Autumn and a handful of Covenant ships. It really only involves the garrison on board the Pillar of Autumn fighting against the garrison on those ships, but the ramifications of this battle are massive, sort of similar to the way the Battle of Sigma Octantis IV, while it was a relatively small engagement, had big ramifications on the future of the Human Covenant War, as it would lead the Covenant to both reach and this Halo Array. But like I mentioned, the forces involved in this engagement would be relatively small, including just a single UNSC warship, the UNSC Pillar of Autumn. If you'd like to learn about the history of the Pillar of Autumn and what led that ship to this moment, I'll leave a link up here to my video breaking down the story behind the Pillar of Autumn. And I'd like you to let me know down in the comments whether you think the Battle of Installation 04 is really that significant. Do you think it's kind of blown out of proportion because it's the battle we see in Halo 1? Or do you think it really is the sort of crucial battle that it's often made out to be? And if you have anything else like to see me cover in Halo or anywhere else in science fiction, you can let me know down below in the comments. Last but not least, if you enjoyed this video, head down below, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon so you get notified when I upload new videos. So for Sci-Fi Deep Dive, I'm Colin, and I will see you next time.